code and brand
we
name.
We are live, so
And a bunch of people switched off of Streamlabs.
Grim.
Especially once it was. We're now live.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's just like it's I literally just turn on the stream because everything's now deciding to work.
Woo.
Okay, you mind giving a countdown before doing that next time?
Sorry, but yes, I will. Oh, this is the English version. Ugh. I'll enjoy the melody, but yeah. Who's this little shiny Pokemon that we've got here? Hello, Symphonic! Oh, here we go. Future Funk 2021 edition. Let's go.
Nice.
Is it royalty free?
Yeah.
Good.
Yo, this music's good. Well, we're going to have a fun time today.
Yes.
Alright. Oh, I'm frozen. Like, I look like I'm drunk.
Well, that's not good.
The Scuff Gods have decided to grace me with their presence. Hold on a moment, my dears. I'm just gonna switch my camera off. We good? Nope. Do I have to change over my camera? Probably gonna have to do that. Let's see if maybe changing my okay. Okay, let's turn the camera on. Oh, don't tell me I actually have to go. Okay, this is a bit odd. Ah.
Perfect.
Have to go back to the old kind of tracking, which is gonna be a bit iffy. But just while I'm waiting for Nvidia to frickin'
Wait,
install.
You mean you didn't wait for it to update? Oh my god.
No, I have to restart my computer.
You can do that!
I don't want to. We've already held this back long enough.
Oh my.
All right, so pardon me for the for all that. Thank you very much, and arigato
It's
gozaimasu.
okay, it's totally fine. It's just that you would clearly put too much pressure on yourself as usual. I'm sure people can wait.
Arigato gozaimashita, minna, goshujin-sama, and everyone in between. Welcome back to the Hayami estate, and today with me I have the adorable little Spooder, Egotistical medic.
Hello.
Let's see if I can get over my fear of spiders with this little guy.
If you haven't seen spiders wearing water drops as hat, then clearly you haven't gotten over your fear.
Exactly, we're adorable.
I mean, if Lucas the spider is anything, I find him to be the most adorable thing ever.
Exactly.
Lucas is one of our cousins. We're both jumping spiders.
Ooh, a wolf spider.
Ooh,
Hell
those
no,
spiders are adorable.
keep those things away from me.
But they just want hugs.
I'll have you know a jumping spider is among my favorite troll mechs in Mech War Online.
Hey.
No,
I like this
no.
guy.
Go away, Audacity. I'm not recording any music right now. So, before we get off track, why not give yourself a short introduction, Ego? Let everyone know who you are.
Well, I am Egotistical Medic, the smallest, most adorable femboy spider you will ever know. And, I tend to be a very helpful kind, tend to the wounded, and tend to the ones that are injured. That's what I do. And I do my best to be adorable and helpful.
Off my desk! One of my cats is, like, uber friendly and sweet, but he's not allowed on my desk.
Oh. He just wants to be hi. He wants to say hi too.
Yeah. And, how about you, Grim? Why not give a small introduction for yourself as well? Yeah, for the new people
I
here.
am Grim. I have no skin.
Oh.
The Knuckle of VTuber. Although I kind of like coined a new phrase for him just because it's a outrage. You little
And she says that cats are better pets than dogs.
I gotta
By the
say,
way,
I do
how
love my
much-
dogs.
Exactly. By the way, how much sleep did you get because of these two?
3 hours.
Exactly.
Ouch.
But no, apparently they're superior because you have to work for their love.
But I like porks. They'll give you unconditional love. They'll just jump on you and start loving you.
Exactly. Why do I want an animal that like would have like cats are abusive.
Yeah.
Like a relationship
That's
with a
also
cat
like
is an
spiders.
abusive one, and I will die on that hill.
I will always say that cats are autistic.
All cats are chud jacks. All dogs are soy jacks.
Yes.
Anyways, so during our interview today, I'll just let you know that it's just a regular chat with your mum, so with your best friend's mum, because I have to reiterate that it's just an easy chat with your best friend's mum. That's all. I'm not here to intimidate. I'm not here to step on people unless they want
Unless
it.
they want to.
No! Don't step on the Spooder. That's a
Nah.
sin.
Oh, hello, Chrysona. Thank you very much for stopping by. I am doing grand. I have today with me an adorable guest who we will be having a chat with today. So, Ego, what made you want to be a VTuber?
Well, what I did to become a VTuber is I was a regular streamer before. I just, streamed on the side. And then, well, I did like being able to make people smile, laugh, and, well, just enjoy their time. So I moved on to VTubing so people can see the more adorable side.
I kind of just fell into VTubing by accident.
Oh.
Like, literally, I knew nothing of VTubing when I got into this. Only VTuber,
Oh my god, I can relate.
only VTuber I know is Kizuna Ai.
The only one I knew was Gura and Korone. And Korone is what actually got me into it because of her shorts.
Gotta love a girl that wears shorts.
Oh. That too.
I mean, I'm wearing something pretty similar. Let's see if I can do this. Ta-da!
Oh, I've seen those before. I forgot they're called.
Bloomers.
Culottes.
Culottes. There we go.
They look like bloomers.
Bloomers
I
are
kinda. I do agree.
bloomers are a little different. There we go. Just moving
look
myself
different.
around. There we go. And what made you decide to be a little Spooder?
Well, I've always did love spiders growing up. I always saw that they were adorable. And, well, a lot of shows did have some very nice-looking spider characters. So I was like, why not? I'll mix my love for spiders with my love for being a medic. And now I'm here.
That makes me think. Is your spider's venom more of an anti-venom then?
Yeah, well, I can turn it into an anti-venom, but I assure that people that go against my team don't like they don't like the venom.
Don't most venomous creatures already have built-in anti-venom?
Yeah.
It's so that when they bite themselves, that they don't hurt themselves. But yeah.
Exactly.
I still feel like the Brazilian wandering spider is the most interesting spider I've ever seen. Because its venom only affects men, really.
The banana spider. Yeah, I know that.
I thought that was the black tarantula.
No.
Is it the
Brazilian?
No.
No, Brazilian wandering spider or the banana spider. They basically, for those who don't know, these spiders will cause excruciating pain for women, but for men, it is an excruciatingly painful 4-hour erection that needs medication to go down.
Yeah, and it is lethal too. So you die with an excitement.
And they say that poor Papa Spud, he's just like, oh dear. Just because of I genuinely did not know that. Yeah, it's actually quite interesting. A spider with a sexist bite. Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me not too much, honestly.
You better watch out. Better watch out which spider you're talking to. They might bite you.
Well, just as long as you check your bananas, and if you see a little brown spot.
If you bite me, you're going to feel sorry for it. If you bite me, it's going to be painful for many hours.
Grim is quite the dom. More so than me.
I'm tempted. I'm gonna give a little nibble one day. You won't know it. You'll feel it.
Well, with Ego, he is a small spooder.
Yeah.
No,
Don't worry, I'm not a banana spider.
No, Papa, it's not called the banana spider because of that. It's because you normally find the Brazilian wandering spider on bananas. That's why you gotta
they hide in bunches.
You gotta check. You gotta check for these blighters. Of course, then here in Australia, we have something called the black mamba. It's a snake. Lives only out in the desert, but if you come across one, you're fucked. Cause these things can be very ornery little bastards that will kill you in 20 minutes. Their bite is so venomous, it will kill you in 20 minutes. It's rated one of the most venomous creatures on Earth.
Only in Australia.
The world's high tier zone.
Exactly.
You can tell that I've kind of, sort of hardened up a little bit while living here. Grim says that, where I used to live here in Australia was more ghetto than a middle class area.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, the whole raining spiders thing. Yes and no. They're actually called spider communities, and then, well, as the name implies, they're communities of spiders that build mega webs up in the tree line. Oh,
you talking about
Hello, Relaria Storm. Thank you very much for joining. But yeah,
You're talking
Can
about
you
our
fly?
apartment complexes.
yes.
Can you
They're
fly?
very cool. Wait, they fly.
No, can you fly?
Me fly? Well, I can jump pretty high. I don't fly. I jump good.
Yeah, he jumping Spooder.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've never tried making a silk sail?
Ooh, now that's interesting. An entire bodysuit made of silk that allows me to fly like a glide, like a flying squirrel.
More like a sail, because spiders do that.
Oh,
Young spiders will distribute themselves across like the area by making like a parachute and using it to sail.
nope, not my stuff.
Whee!
I jump around and I jump good.
So, what are some of your favorite games to play, Ego?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I would have to put it down to a lot of horror games and a lot of games, first-person shooters, more importantly, that allow me to play support class. I will refuse to play any game that doesn't allow me to play support.
Please don't tell me to play Overwatch.
I do not. More militaristic ones.
I cannot play.
So you play Mil Sims?
Yeah, I love Mil Sims. I got Hell Let
You play
Loose
Squad?
and Squad. Yeah.
Yes! Fuck yeah!
Finally, someone he can play with.
Woo!
And I did try to play Squad with someone once on stream, and it did not go very well. Like,
Oh, didn't
technical
it?
issues were just fucking up.
Oh,
I should play
Goblins.
Squad again.
Grim had me playing Splitgate one time, and let's just say while the angle was funny, the injuries were not.
Ouch.
Like, I have a very weak body. If I get too angry, I have one of many side effects. I can either crack a rib, bleed internally.
Bleed internally.
Jesus.
I told you she's the unluckiest person I know.
I see that.
Health problems.
You gotta hate them.
Just chronically ill, but I learned to live with it. I don't know why, but in real life, I now do the same thing that my model does and just hand on my hip. Do you ever do that sort of thing where you just seem to copy your model at some points?
No, not really.
I kind of do. I gotta relate. I do leave my arms off to the side like this sometimes. Do a little penguin wobble.
It's just like better way for me to like get into like my, even though I'm myself behind the model, I do try and have a more motherly tone with my way of speech.
Sounds fitting.
Oh.
By the way, in terms of Squad, do you have any like funny stories from Squad? Because that is definitely a game where you make friends.
Not Squad too much, more in Hell Let Loose. Squad I played like 1 or 2 games with a small group. Funniest moment is we were in this one like ruin and there was a helicopter over us. I don't remember if it was an enemy one. All I know is that we were bombarded and this technical just comes driving through the ruins and runs over 2 of my buddies and it just slams into a tree and explodes. That's the only part I remember of Squad.
So you don't play too often, I'm gonna have to drag it back into it, because let me tell you something. To my knowledge, Hell Let Loose does not allow you to use suicide bikes.
I don't think so.
So, one of there's 2 factions in the Squad, which are like militia and insurgents, which is basically Chechens and Taliban, I guess.
Mhm.
And so there's one class, it's their version of the engineer called the sapper, and they get IEDs, which you can stick to any surface. Now, the low tier play is to put them on the side of the road and wait for like a vehicle to come by. The big brain play is to put them on a bike, like a lot of them on a bike, have a squad mate, ram it into an enemy vehicle, and then blow it.
Oh, dude, that reminds me of the Battlefield days. The where you put them on an ATV. Oh, those were the days.
Oh yeah,
And like I would just scream, "Witness me!"
Witness! Boom! You take out an Abrams with you.
I think you two will have a lot of fun together.
I think
Sounds
probably
like
my most fun squad moment ever was really early in development, like before the British military was added, before tanks were added. It was, I forget most of the match. All I remember is I ended up overextending with someone, and I was a medic, and I had to continually heal them, and every time they got shot, like, we were getting pinned down, but for some reason they couldn't kill us. They couldn't, like, stop us, because we were two medics and we were healing each other. At one point, someone just fires a rocket launcher at us, and it doesn't do any damage because they missed.
What? I gotta say, I do relate the whole medicing thing. You're all by yourself, you and your medic buddy, you're just prone right next to each other, cowering as everything around you explodes. Yeah, I feel that.
Explosions in squad definitely hit differently. Because, like it actually... like, suppressing fire actually has, like, physical effects. It makes everything more shaky. It's like a black tint on your screen. And the explosions are really loud. So,
Ooh,
like, you feel it. Like, you feel like, you straight up get shell shock. You feel like every impact could be the one that gets you.
Well, considering that I'm an explosive magnet, I can't wait to see an RPG slap me in the face.
Oh, man. My laugh sounds like a Disney villain, and yet people love it.
You gotta love the evilness. You always gotta let it out once in a while.
Hey, people like a good villain.
Exactly. Heroes are so overdone nowadays. We need a good evil person.
Okay, let's see here. There we go. For anyone who has yet to think about joining in on this, I'm opening another event. Here's the Twitter link to it. You pay the
participating.
You pay the $60 and you basically get to be part of a big not safe for work piece with me.
Are you participating, medic?
I don't think so. I'm very size-so.
Yeah.
Oh, bullshit.
What? Do
You're
not
begging
think
for my dick before stream.
Yes, you see that stuff that happens behind closed doors, okay?
Grim is very blunt.
Closed doors doesn't count.
Men can't live with them, can't live without them.
I only see one door, and it's a back door, and it looks quite open to me.
Yeah, it's a little cracked. It's not too open.
We can fix that.
Alright, you two, stop hitting on each other on my stream. Especially
I don't have a bet to hit him with.
I'm glad that there's someone that knows how to flirt with Grim. I try to, I try to and fail miserably.
It's okay, Grim.
I mean, when we first started dating, it worked out.
Ooh, that's good at least. See? Things are gonna go well then.
On the first stream that I was on with him. Oh, there goes my model again. On the first stream that I was on with him.
I don't know how to get me flustered. It's definitely not easy. Mainly because, like, you see, I grew up on the area of the internet known as the hacker known as 4chan.
Oh no.
Hello, Tsuki. Thank you very much for returning.
I have learned how not to get provoked because I have been forged in the fires of trolling.
Yeah.
And yet, here I am on the other side where I've perused 2chan and been on the deep web.
Oh god. Don't go too far into the deep web, you'll regret everything. You'll see some stuff.
I've seen a lot of stuff. Cannibal cafes, red rooms, Silk Road, so many things.
Friends die.
Some of these I don't know, and I think I'd rather not know.
Like I found out that if you are a cannibal, the best kind of meat that you can get is from a woman's ass. It's
What?
apparently the sweetest part of a woman's body, thus much easier to eat.
I have to keep that in my notes.
And I'm just like, well then, I'm making sure that none of my partners are fucking cannibals because I'm not.
Technically, I'm not human, so it doesn't count as cannibalism.
True.
Me with an ass? Have you seen it? It's fucking flat.
Felicity, you can't be that big and have no ass. It's physically impossible. Your ass is bigger than my head.
Oh.
I'm 125 kilograms, and my fucking ass is as flat as a pancake.
You can't have both.
Griff's going to just argue with that until the end of time.
That is not a dump truck. It is an international cargo freighter.
Oh, Jesus.
Thank you for making me feel more self-conscious.
As you can see,
To
she's
where-
very adorable.
To where is the line drawn between being extra thick to being insultingly thick? Where's the line then?
If, as Gabriel Iglesias would put it, if you start walking around and start sounding like with every movement, then I think you need to seek help.
I don't know. I don't see a problem.
So, Ego, if I may, how did you find VTubing?
VTubing I have found through, I believe, through the short videos that I saw through Corone. And then from there, then I saw Gura, and well, I got interested from there, and I started watching some more clips, and that's kind of what introduced me to it.
Now
Where was the defining moment where you decided I want to spend a ridiculous amount of money on a model?
Well, funny enough, not a bunch of money, but a ridiculous amount of time trying to learn the ins and outs of making a model. Now that was a pain.
That was dedication. And where did that dedication come from? Like, what made you think I have to do this?
Well, because I do take a lot of pride in, well, as the name entails, egotistical, but I do take a lot of pride in my own works. I like to say with confidence that this is mine, this is all me, no one can say they did this.
Now, for anyone who is going to come into my stream and take what I said out of context about the whole fat thing, I don't fat shame because of the fact that I'm 125 kilos, mate. Do you really think I'm going to fat shame?
No fat shaming, just fat loving.
I mean, I fat shame myself a lot of the time, saying that I'm too big, and yet I have 2 husbands.
We'll see, here's the thing. If you're bigger, that means that there's more of you to love.
Very true. So, what has been your most interesting experience as a VTuber?
Ooh, I would definitely have to say honestly, the kind of the community itself. My best experience is getting to know the ins and outs of what the community is like, and well, seeing how a lot of it is very accepting, very loving. I didn't see a lot of that in certain other communities when I streamed previously. So jumping into the VTubing one for this kind of refreshing experience feels nice.
It was for me for the first few months before reality set in. I'm like, oh yeah, this isn't like Hololive where everyone is like a family. Like, no, there's creeps, there's people who will use and abuse you.
Rude.
And Mm.
So maybe that was a beginner's first step into it, seeing the gloriousness of it, and then then you get deeper into it.
At the
People
same
tend-
time, I've met friends for life and partners for life.
Oh, that's the best part of it then.
Mm. And that's saying I found her completely by accident as well.
Isn't that how most love is? The best part.
It is like so like, and I've seen people like, I can't get a girlfriend. It's like, you're trying, that's the problem.
Exactly. It just happens, you know? You don't just suddenly search out and find the person. It's you
Love
meet
comes
them.
to us unbidden when we give it to others.
Exactly.
I have met some very interesting people on the internet as well, like actual, like, legit incels who are convinced, like, that there's no hope for them because of, like, genetics and stuff.
No. There's someone out there for everyone. There's billions of people in this world. There's got to be one for you.
As people say, all the good ones are gay, are either gay or taken. Well, then make yourself available, dears. Make them want you. That's
Exactly.
That's what I did, and well, look where I am now.
Oh, I'm sorry, miss. I have a flat ass and I'm also really fat.
Excuse me.
I'm so. Oh, you just make yourself seem enticing. Also, I'm going to degrade my own image, like I always do.
Well, the fact is that I have a complex with my own body, but that's because of reasons.
The duality of felicity.
Yeah, basically, I'm allowed to hate myself, but if you hate yourself, I'm gonna go, no, you don't.
Exactly. Everyone needs to love each other for what they are, or who they are.
Oh, I can tell you though, VTubing has been one hell of a ride. I mean, I've made so many wonderful friends. I have my husbands, and just everything is just one new thing after another. Huh. Now,
And yet you keep growing.
For some reason, people like what I do.
Because you're adorable.
Well, that's a fact.
Kawaii
Yes, you are.
janai. Kawaii janai. Kimi no uso ja.
Yes, you are.
I have no idea what was said, but I heard kawaii, and that definitely does fit the bill.
Says I'm not cute, which is a lie.
Oh, now that's a lie.
It's, especially when she gets really shy and flustered. And here's the thing: denying you're cute only makes you cuter.
That is also a fact.
Uso. That means
So does
lies.
speaking Japanese, by the way.
Oh.
Would you not agree speaking Japanese makes you cuter?
I do agree. The moment you speak Japanese, that instantly tips the scale to the kawaii side. There's no
Exactly.
denial.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One day she'll accept it.
It's okay. It's a learning experience. She'll get to learn how adorable she is.
She'll learn that she's an adorable little kitten.
Yes, 100%.
You.
That's one of her trigger words.
Oh,
Wow, I really did that time.
I think the
You had
host
to-
is
You had to use that nickname that I really like on stream. Come on. Fuck you.
good job, Jim. You got this.
Promise?
Maybe later.
Maybe you can join us. Maybe you can join me and Ego.
Mm.
Okay,
That-
you want to hear a funny story? So,
I like funny stories.
there was a particular phrase which really made her blush, and this was way when we first met, and I just said it in this sensual, tired voice. And that night, she had a... By the way, I wasn't the only one on the call. There was another guy who was also flirting with her. That night, she dreamt of getting spit roasted by the two of us.
Oh. God.
Which she absolutely loves.
Oh.
Basically, getting spit roasted by a fucking horse cock and a dragon dick. Yeah.
What? Oh.
You know what
That's
my
a
whole
big nani.
You know what my bottom half looks like, right? You know what a knuckle of V is?
I don't think so.
Irish
You can
folklore...
post his... You can post my full model if you want.
Essentially, Knuckle-V are Irish folklore demons that bring pestilence and sickness to all that encounter them, and also hunt down the souls of the ill faith in order to devour their souls and send the rest of them to hell.
Sounds delicious.
The only thing about them, though, is that they come out from the ocean in order to hunt, and cannot cross a
You cut out for a very long time, by the way.
Oh, great. With Knuckle-V, they only come out from the ocean to hunt, and then when they hunt down the person, it's a relentless hunting down of this said person. The only way to escape a Knuckle-V is to cross a body of fresh water.
All of that is fake, by the way. We're primarily vegetarian.
Oh.
But we do cause famine. See also us being vegetarian.
Oh. Well, that's not good.
Hey, crops don't grow well in the water. You don't get as much sunlight.
I just
As long as you don't starve me out of any other buggies.
I just see Grim like standing at a podium going, "We didn't cause the famine."
Now, Grim, so long as you don't eat any of the juicy caterpillars, I think you and I are gonna be just fine.
But anyways, yeah, the whole point of this tangent was because my entire lower torso is shaped like a horse.
Oh, okay.
And that is why I am like 8'7".
Oh.
And then there's me, tiny little 5'7".
It's okay. You're not tiny 5
5'7"
inches like
is
me.
not that short for a woman. Especially someone who's half Asian.
Yeah, I'm the
Wait,
tallest.
that's pretty tall.
I'm the tallest Asian. I'm like the tallest amongst my Asian family. And basically that means I'm even taller than the average male in my entire family, and I'm like, oh great, they're gonna ask me to grab everything from the top shelf.
So? Dude, do you know how many guys like giantesses? Do you know how many men like gigantic snoo women who are at like tit to eye level?
Well, I mean, I do have a thing for Lady Dimitrescu.
I'd raise my hand.
Just
it's interesting. She's only lesbian for a woman who like knows what she wants, basically.
I mean, can you fault her for that though?
The fact is,
well, it's not my taste.
The fact is that with me, if you're there to waste my time, I'm probably just gonna turn the other way. But you know what you're doing, and then I'm definitely going to enjoy myself. My favorite women of all time are definitely Bayonetta and Lady D.
Definitely Bayonetta. I have to agree with Bayonetta on that.
Yes, I am hedonistic. So what? I live for my own pleasure. And yet I am an empath, which is quite interesting.
There's nothing saying you can't be both, and is such a thing as moral hedonism. I know, because I've taken philosophy.
For a future project that I'm doing, I am actually going to be getting a special I don't really watch anime that much anymore. My favorite, the last anime I really watched was this one called, So You Love Me, Prove It. It's about a female scientist who's rivals with with her male colleague, and it turns out she has like this massive crush on him. So she tells him her feelings, and he goes, "All right, so this is why we should date," and blah 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 blah. They go the scientific route of dating, falling in love, how to feel about each other. I'm just like, the fuck?
That sounds incredibly cute and hilarious.
It is, because like one experiment
that sounds like very autistic love to me.
Like, one of the experiments they did was literally just him doing kabedon to her and watching her reaction. Now, if that was done to me, I would probably just have my legs turned to jelly and fall to the floor. I do not handle kabedon that well. It's too much for me. Help.
Felicity is somewhat Freudian in that she wants a guy who takes what he wants.
Okay.
But remember that you've also got to be romantic.
Well, when you're out of season, yes.
If you want me in the mood, you got to make sure you know my heart at least a little bit.
Fair. I definitely feel
By the way,
that.
speaking of anime, what is your favorite?
Ooh. No, that's a very good question. That's a tough one. I honestly would probably have to say this one anime called Girls Last Tour. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Nope.
It's essentially it's this post-apocalyptic anime where it's these two characters who they're the last remaining humans, and they drive around in a small Kettencrad, and they just see the remnants of humanity in this like war-torn world. It's a very dark anime, but like it tries not to be dark.
Alfred!
You see the horrors of war, but then at the end it shows the beauty of life. And then in the manga, eventually, well, I'm not going to spoil it from there.
Definitely sounds like something heavily influenced by the bombings.
Alfred just jumped onto my
lap. I can see that.
Like, the only other artists I know that seem to be heavily influenced by Hiroshima and Nagasaki was Junji Ito.
Oh, Ito. I love Ito. Like,
yeah.
have you actually seen, like, Junji Ito's Cat Diaries? When he does something wholesome, like with like the stories about his cats, it turns into a horrific direction, and I'm just like, this guy's a cinnamon bun in real life, and yet he draws all this horror. And then you see Hayao.
Meanwhile, you are an absolute cinnamon roll in real life, and you said that you won an award at the age of 10 for writing horror fiction.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah, you know who Ito is, right?
I think I know about the name now, because I've seen some pictures of this person. He seems friendly and whatnot, but then I have seen like these graphic images next to his image. I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, probably his most famous work is a manga called Uzumaki.
Junji Ito.
And I'm assuming they haven't read Uzumaki from that response.
Nope.
I just have to, like, give Alfred some attention so he doesn't jump on my lap again.
So, simply put, Junji Ito was inspired by a few different things. First and foremost, learning about, like, World War II from his parents. A bunch of classical Japanese horror authors whose names I forget, and H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh, really?
Yes. And while it's not as obvious right away, his work definitely has Lovecraftian influence in it. In particular, Uzumaki definitely has a few, like, hallmarks of Lovecraft, especially the fact that Uzumaki literally translates to spiral, the most simple fractal shape ever, and we all know how much Lovecraft loved his geometry.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the whole point of that story, it was the horror.
Oh,
like,
hello, Arcana Blood. Thank you very much for the first time chat.
everything was like spiral themed horror.
Non-Euclidean.
Hey,
Essentially, all this stuff would hurt my brain, and I would probably need to sleep.
I will be honest. I'm looking up some of the images of Uzumaki right now, and it is an interesting set of imagery.
Yeah.
Oh, like there's this one part in Uzumaki. I'll only say this one part so it can get you interested. A stalker girl starts like stalking the main character, and you just start seeing this spiral make a hole in her fucking head, and she doesn't notice a thing.
Yeah, that's the most infamous scene, and that was chapter 3. But anyways, where I was going with this was, like, especially at the end of Uzumaki, you get to see the World War II influence, because let's just say shit hits the fan in the end. But like, one thing about his work, because he does lots of body horror, is there's always this disconnect with the characters where they don't even like react to the body horror. That like they don't even notice it, or they just treat it casually.
Oh, I'm doing pretty good, Ark.
And the reason why I say this is because apparently, like, survivors of the blasts who were like heavily irradiated, they would be walking up to people, like they're in pain but not in too much pain, and skin is falling off the bone.
I have seen and read the stories about what happened during that time. And it's illustrated in that manga?
Like you definitely see the whole people are falling apart, people are being mutilated, but they don't even really react to it with the same level of horror as they should. They just
there's actually
it's like
another.
a sort of, again, it's like this
another-
disconnect of, oh, my arm's falling off, okay.
Hello there, though.
Or it's like there's a sort of lucidness about it, and that's what makes it so disturbing.
There's another manga by Junji called Gyo.
Gyo is another good example of like his like
Inspirations on love. Yeah, because with Gyo, it's literally about fish that somehow gain the ability to walk with these mechanical legs.
Yeah.
Yo, let me see this one. Oh my god, I see a shark. What is this? What am I looking at?
That one actually, I'm not gonna spoil, but that one definitely has a lot of World War II inspiration as well.
There's also another one that's not quite well known called Romelia, and it's literally about an idol being blamed for a carnivorous planet coming to eat everyone.
Oh, geez.
remember
Oh my
that
god, I
one.
see the planet. What?
Also, on this subject, I think on Monday I'm going to be streaming World of Horror, which is, it's a very like simplistic roguelike that's designed with like a 1980s aesthetic. Like, it's all done in like 2-bit, so it's like it's literally black and white coloring.
Ooh, interesting.
And it's like inspired by Lovecraft and Ito, like heavily. Like, it takes place in like 80s Japan, and like I think the closest thing I can compare it to is like what was it called, Monster High or something? No, that was Monster Prom. That was the one I'm talking about. Yeah, it's a game sort of like Monster Prom, but a lot less quirky and a lot more. You're gonna die a lot, and you're gonna die in very hopeless circumstances.
Now you really do have my attention.
Basically, read the entire Junji Ito collection, and you'll be very, very much horrified but intrigued. Do not watch the Junji Ito collection anime, though. It is crap. It's a piece of shit. I don't know how they could not translate the manga to the anime at all.
Seriously?
It's
That's disappointing. I was looking forward to watching that.
It's absolute trash.
Alright, manga it is then.
I will say, though, I don't like the ending of Uzumaki.
And then
The thing about Lovecraft is he uses his main characters as like a vehicle for your eyes. It's like you're seeing everything through the character's eyes, but you don't know the character's name. They're very forgettable. They have no personality. So you don't feel too attached to them, which is why when they die horribly, you don't like feel as like outraged at the fact that the character you've been attached to dies.
Oh. mean, that's smart.
Yeah, unfortunately, Junji Ito does do that, and he makes their deaths very meaningless a lot of the time.
Oh, does he? Oh, that's kind of a shame.
Essentially, he'll make your heart hurt for the worst reasons.
Hmm.
But hey, it's a horror. How else are you supposed to make a? Have you watched the King's Game anime?
King's Game. Never heard of that one.
Oh, Tsuki, you said you ordered my Daki. Has it arrived yet?
Suki, aren't you dealing with financial troubles right now?
He ordered this months ago, from my recollection. Oh, he had to cancel it.
Okay, good. Look after your own health, buddy.
Sure, getting to sleep with me all the time is a wonderful idea, but I'd much rather you put your money on much better things.
So, as for... we've discussed favorite anime. What is one anime you've watched that you just absolutely fucking hate?
That I hate? Oh, that would have to be... There's one that I never got to finish because it was just so meh. There's another one that I hate for the way it's paced. But the one that I hate that I never finished was called, it's just like one... It's not really based in World War II, but it's a bunch of anime girls, and they're equipped with like these World War II plane equipment. I know I'm probably gonna get flack for saying that, but essentially they're using magic to use propellers to fly themselves all over the place. But it's
Strike Witches! This sounds like Strike Witches!
I think it's Strike Witches. I was watching it with my history.
Was there any Yuri in it? Because I've heard...
Oh my god.
I don't think so.
Strike Witches! That's my ex's favorite anime.
Oh, well.
Lots of Yuri in it? Was there lots of Yuri in it?
It's implied.
I don't think so.
It's implied.
But
okay, I think I know the one you're talking about then.
It's a lot of implied.
There's a lot of panty shots, though. A lot of panty shots everywhere.
Hello, Frozen. Welcome back.
It's kind of the reason why I hate it is because it focuses more on the actual, like, the girls' aesthetics than what they do and what they accomplish.
Oh,
okay,
God, you just reminded me of something, an anime that I don't want to say I hate it, but I honestly do kind of hate it.
So, Frozen Sunlight is saying, hello, Spooder.
Frozen, hey! Welcome to the chat, Frozen. It's good to see you, buddy.
So, anyways, it was an anime which, on paper, it seemed like a cool idea, like really cool. In practice, I felt nothing but absolute disappointment. And it was called Dragon Pilots.
Dragon Pilots? That one I never heard of.
So, the premise is... dragons are real, and they are a secret, super powerful weapon, and they need to stay hidden and covert, which is why, over the years, people have developed disguises for them, and modern dragons in modern militaries are disguised as fighter jets. And not just fighters either, like, there was one popular that was like an AWACS, which I thought was pretty creative. So it's like, okay, so what you're basically saying is we're getting transforming dragon fighter pilot anime. This sounds incredibly cool. I was expecting something along the lines of a mecha anime like Gundam. No, I got a fucking romantic comedy. There's like there's no action, no violence whatsoever.
Oh, come now. Rom-coms are some of the best animes.
Okay, look, you give me transforming jet dragons, and you don't make it, like, full of action and violence. I'm sorry, but, like, I feel cheated.
I have to agree with Grim on this one. I feel cheated too, and I'm just hearing about it.
Okay, so Suki is asking, have you seen Death Mount Dead Play?
Nope, never heard of it.
I haven't. Never heard of it.
But yeah, if you're like a romantic comedy, you'll probably like Dragon Pilot. Otherwise, you'll probably think it is incredibly disappointing because, like, I want to see a high octane fucking. I want to see people. Like, I want to see like an F-35 get torn apart by a dragon in the sky. All right.
That's my husband.
That would be something I pay for.
That's my husband for you. Very easy to entertain.
I want to see a fucking. I want to see like a Su-75 femboy get absolutely demolished.
I mean, aren't you going to do that to Ego later?
Wait. Oh wait, what? I'm not a Su-75 lover. I hate that thing. I don't think it was ever produced.
Suki, Suki,
Okay, how much of a military nerd are you? I have to know.
I'm very heavy up to the 60s. I know quite a bit about modern, but not too much.
The Su-75, which is officially called the Checkmate, but is been given the name the Femboy, it is supposed to be a 5th generation fighter, which is supposed to be the answer to the F-22 and the F-35. Except they don't even have enough of them to make a full squadron. And because of sanctions, Russia can't make any more, and they haven't been able to since basically 2014. And it's also very flawed in its design. Like, it has screws in it.
What?
Like, just... It has screws, they're not even, like, flush, and they just, like, stick out of the airframe.
You're kidding!
It's like, isn't that what is called a big radar cross-section? And this
what?
is supposed to be a stealth... Yeah, there's pictures of it! Look up Su-75 screws. And
I know it's a joke, but...
Maybe you want to, like, type it down in chat for people to look up?
Su-75. Yeah,
it looks like a riveted plane. What is this?
Oh my god, I'm not gonna get political. All I'm gonna say is, like, holy shit, the Ukraine war ruined, like, their, like, tough guy persona. It is atomized. Russia is now a fucking, like, that is a geriatric teddy bear.
Oh my god. It's cursed. I hate it. This is the kind of stuff you'll see in, like, cursed military images.
You ever, like,
a modern fighter?
You ever look at, like, gun gore?
Look at what?
Gun gore.
Gun gore? Oh no, you're talking about the one where they butcher the guns.
There was one in particular that I remember everyone, like, reacted to it with nothing but sheer burning hatred. And the guy who posted it said, he already removed the metadata, so I can't geolocate it, because otherwise I would find him and strangle him. And it was like, it was an antique German rifle from World War II.
Okay.
So, obviously it's a relic, it's got important history behind it.
Of course.
Someone removed the classic wooden body and replaced it with a bright blue body with a sticker that said 20% cooler on it.
What? Excuse me? You know how hard I've been looking for one of those authentic... I want a Car 98, and they're butchering these rifles. Oh.
Like,
my inner historian is killing me.
Oh, you're a historian too? Oh, I think we're gonna get along just well then. Because, like, yeah, like, Felicity will not understand this pain.
I have never felt more butchered than that one time. I don't even want to mention the name of the game, but the one where they gave the Garand a drum mag and it still does the ping. I have never felt so cursed since that day.
Oh my god! What game was this? What game was this? I need to know.
Okay, well, you're setting yourself up for this, but it was Call of Duty Vanguard.
Of course it was Vanguard! Ah! Vanguard hurts my soul.
I know.
Let's put holographic weapons, or, like, let's put holographic sights on weapons decades before they were ever invented.
Alright, I'm just gonna go and give myself some rest. So I'm just gonna hop off screen real quick. There we go.
Actually, if you're a gun nut and you do like historical weapons, you will be happy to know that I have not only fired a Mosin Nagant, but a Finnish-made Mosin Nagant.
I have not fired the Finnish one. I have fired an authentic Soviet-grade Mosin Nagant. I have. And it
But,
felt
like, you know
so good. It's so
You know
powerful.
what's so important about the Finnish ones, though, right?
I'm just off to the side because I need to get up and walk.
But what's so special? What's the difference between the Finnish one? That one I don't know.
So, it's not a piece of shit.
That's a given.
So, as it was explained to me by someone who knows guns even more than I do, like, a Mosin Nagant, your typical Mosin, would be so shitty that if it jammed, the only way to unjam it was through the efforts of 3 men and a sledgehammer.
What?
Yeah, like, they were shitty weapons.
I knew they were bad, but I didn't hear the story about the sledgehammer.
Again, I don't know specific details, I'll have to ask him again, but that is, generally speaking, like, the kind of quality you should expect from a Mosin if it jams. Finnish Mosins were actually made well. Like, they perfected the design, it had good machining. And my brother brought to a shooting range one, and some guy who was, like, some sort of Slavic, possibly Ukrainian, at the range saw it, and he was, like, bug-eyed. He knew what it was immediately. And you know what sucks? My brother had to sell it.
You're kidding. How much did you sell it for?
Huh?
How much was it? How much did he go for?
Probably a lot. And by the way, this thing was like all original parts too. Like, and they all had the same like serial number on it. It was like, apparently it was specifically used as like a training weapon for the Finnish military, so it never saw service.
Okay.
But still, that also meant it's in virtually mint condition.
Exactly.
So I
did have
I did have the pleasure of firing that thing. It had a lot less recoil than I thought it would.
Really? I felt like it had quite a bit.
No, I mean, like, yeah, no, it really didn't have recoil, and I was surprised. I'm like, this is what a high caliber rifle is supposed to be like. This doesn't feel that like, because like my brother has a 12 gauge, and that bruised my finger. Not my shoulder, although my shoulder was sore, but like my finger got bruised because like kept hitting the trigger guard because I don't know how to fucking shoulder a rifle properly.
Do you chicken wing? You can do chicken wing.
Yeah, he did have to sell it. He got like a bolt action hunting rifle. I forget what it's called, and I forget. It's supposed to be chambered in this like newfangled round that makes like 308 obsolete, basically.
What?
Yeah, it's basically it's a cartridge that's like a lot more skinny. And so it's got like less wind resistance, but still has power behind it.
Huh. Welcome back. I've never heard about that.
Yeah, and like I'll have to send you pictures because this thing looks sexy. Like there's like this spiral design on like the bolt. And it's got like a carbon fiber barrel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alfred, stop messing around with my cables.
It looks sexy. It definitely looks sexier than a Mosin.
Okay, now I gotta see it. Now I'm having some doubts.
Like, it's a modern weapon, so don't expect like a wooden stock. It's like polymer and like carbon fiber.
You can't be wooden stocks though.
I mean, in theory, yeah, but no, this one isn't. And it's apparently pretty lightweight. Actually, so as a resident of Burger Town, what guns have you fired?
Ooh, I fired not too many, but there are a very interesting variety. I fired the Mosin. I have fired a 300 Blackout. I fired one of these like it's not authentic flintlock, but I fired one of these flintlocks that a buddy of mine bought at one of those gun shows, and it is
defend himself like the founding fathers intended.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna see the man one day with an entire 8-pounder cannon on the top of his stairs to shoot down at anyone that breaks in.
Tally ho, lads!
Flintlock was great. No recoil to it, but understandably, it's a black powder.
I
I've also fired
some amount of recoil to a black powder.
There was like a little flop. Like I felt the gun because I gripped, the front and the handle, and then like it did this like weird wobble when I fired it. Not your typical recoil when you fire like let's say a 9mm or a 22. It like just flopped in your hands like a fish. It was weird.
So like it was like recoil that went sort of back and forth.
Yeah, it was hard to explain.
Or like
I
it went
fired
back
it only
in
once.
intervals. Interesting.
Exactly. Like I fired it, started from the the left hand that's holding on to the front, and then it wobbled to the back where the handle is, but then it recoiled back to the front. It was weird.
Interesting.
I've never had a gun recoil like that. I encourage it. It's interesting. The shot will never go where you want it to. I don't even know where it hit. Didn't hit the paper at all. But yeah, it was an interesting experience.
Okay, I need to talk about a little bit more about my brother's shotgun then, because I have yet to actually hit anything with that thing. Mainly because one, that thing scares me. Like, keep in mind, the only thing we had for it was like slugs, like deer slugs.
Okay.
Like, I think it was like government or something, but like, so it was like high-powered deer slug. So this thing had like mule kicking. By the end of firing it, my hand was shaking holding it.
Oh. Yeah,
and
damn. I've only fired.
I did not hit anything because my hands were shaking. It's like, I just want to learn how to like shoulder this thing properly without damaging my shoulder. You know how badly I was at holding it? I would shoot
How
it.
bad?
And like the pump would already be halfway back because of how I grip. I do not have a gun license. My brother does.
Oh.
And it's why
have you ever fired a shotgun before?
Not before that, and I have a lot of respect for them now.
Yeah,
I recommend start with 20 gauge.
Here in Australia, no civs can have a gun because Port Arthur,
which was basically their biggest shooting.
Oh damn.
Yep, one guy, 27 people.
Jesus Christ, 27.
Quite impressive, honestly.
It is. That's a scary number.
I heard rumors that it was all because of the fact that he went schizo after watching a Batman movie, but I'm not sure if that's actually true.
I think I actually heard about that. It happened in the theater.
No, that was the Aurora Theater.
Oh, okay. So I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, that one, which made people think that the Joker was gonna... People legitimately thought that like a bunch of incels were gonna shoot up the Joker.
Oh my god, I remember that story.
But yeah, I'm more of a paleontology nerd. So while Grim,
yes, it worked! I got you that time.
That's because it was so out of left field.
When you've had a girlfriend for this long, you start to get like your own in-jokes.
Sounds amazing.
Oh, I mean, like, I told Grim a joke the other day, and he didn't really like it because of how long it was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry that I'm such a zoomer, and that I need to watch Subway Surfers while you tell the joke.
Oh god, no, those videos.
Okay. Time to get very intellectual here, all right? Because I had this conversation with my brother, like yesterday. Because where my brother works, they were hiring a bunch of Zoomers, and he was just being a millennial and just complaining about them and saying that they speak in a whole nother language.
I feel.
By the way, how old are you, if I may ask?
I am 26.
Okay, so you are just like you are among the first like Gen Z.
Yes, at the very border.
Yeah, same with me. So like I had this conversation and it went to some interesting places, and I kept thinking about how Gen Z onward is going to be so different.
Oh, I
Like-
feel that.
What is that? Oh wait, no. I'm a millennial because I'm 92.
Yeah.
I thought you were 30.
Yeah, I'm 30 years old. But yeah.
You're
I-
not 92 years
I-
old. Anyway,
I existed before the before Google.
anyways, so like, because I'm also an uncle of V, and I have to think what is going to be the future for our children. Because like people point out that they don't understand body language. I'm like, they probably don't. They're probably gonna be like super autistic, and we're like, they don't get social cues, or they do get social cues, but like Discord social cues, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I definitely agree, especially with the modern age where technology kind of like overtook everything. See, during our time, technology was just taking off with the whole internet, video games, whatnot. But nowadays, they've already got all the new modernized stuff. So, well, and especially after
There's-
the whole...
There was one particular video I saw on the internet that, like, it just impacted me so much, and it was this kid who had a tablet in one hand, or like a tablet like on his lap and a phone in one hand, and with one finger he was fighting off a witch playing Minecraft Pocket Edition, and with the other he was swiping through TikToks. And this
What?
was all with one. This was all with one finger, and it was done like it was like he was swiping once per second, basically,
Oh my god.
while he was fighting an enemy in Minecraft. And it's like, and this kid could have been older than like 6 or 7.
That's insane. What is...
That is the future.
We both
That-
know
that
that
is-
kid's gonna have a lot of good ways when it comes to using his hands.
Why do you have to go there? God damn, Felicity.
If you're gonna say stuff like that, of course I'm gonna go there.
He's gonna be good with his hands doing technological stuff because he's gonna be advanced and a very smart kid.
But it makes me realize why, like, so many people have attention deficit disorder. Myself
Rocky,
included, and
welcome back.
And it's because of how fast and immediate technology is. And I don't think it's that much of an issue. It means that the future is going to be, everyone is going to be multitaskers. They're going to be, like, overstimulated, but they'll just deal with it. I mean, these kids are probably not going to be able to handle silence. Then again, I can't either.
It's why I have my
Agreed.
It's why I have my headphones on most of the time.
Yeah, they're gonna be basically listening to music 24/7. I feel like they're gonna
I'll be honest,
Oh god,
I-
they're gonna be listening to shitty SoundCloud rappers. Ugh.
No. You gotta give them the good old classics. I listen to good old electro swing. That's gonna keep you in the mood.
Oh my god, electro swing, future funk, all that good stuff.
Exactly. Now, I will say on the topic of audio stuff, I have to agree. Back then, I used to fall asleep like nothing. Nowadays, I can't fall asleep without listening to at least a video on YouTube. I can't. I need audio cues.
Hello, Nixie! I unfortunately have, because of the fact that that my partner's voices are, like, really soothing to me, I can't fall asleep without it.
Actually, that reminds me. When I had a cold, I was arousing her every time I spoke because I had like a really coughy, scratchy throat.
Shut the fuck up!
Make sure she doesn't
I
get
guess-
you sick too often.
And what she wanted to do was, she wanted me to basically make her insides look like my throat.
What? What?
Just tear it apart.
Yeah, that's an exaggeration, but something I also believe too.
Well, with how much of a slut I am online, I can tell you though, there's now 7 people that are a part of the winter event piece, and it's very surprising that there's so many people that want a piece of me.
Wait, so like they want to cook you up, or?
Oh no no no. No, it's just mainly that they want to do me hard, and I'm just like harder.
Oh God. Well then, this is too much for my small mind. See, as I said, I'm very sizeable. Definitely.
I market myself as a lewd tuber mainly because then I can swear as much as I fucking want and be as lewd as I fucking can. But a lot of people tend to think I'm more on the wholesome side.
You are, honestly.
I can believe it.
At the very least, you've gotten more wholesome. You don't feel nearly as lewd as you used to be.
Well, that's the thing with me. When I am like slutting it up, that's usually meaning that I haven't gotten any of the right attention.
That explains why you're such an absolute whore when I met you.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, she was such a slut. And then I was there to give her attention, and she stopped being a slut.
Well
let's just say
yeah.
this. After I started dating Grim, I stopped being a mistress to 7 people.
Oh,
I'd also stopped being a sugar baby for a few months before then. But I only just recently got back into sex work because bitch got bills to pay.
Well,
that's a fact.
I want to call it sex work. I feel like that's a different, if tangentially related field.
I'd have to agree with that one.
I feel the same way as a middle guy on my end. Rocky's just like I feel like like ego.
By the way, quickly going back to the topic of like the younger generations, apparently, and this is sort of like one of the weird quirky sides of cyberpunk dystopia that you don't really think about. Apparently somewhere on the West Coast, there was a teacher, and it was discovered that she had an OnlyFans.
Oh yeah,
I read an article about that.
She got fired for having an OnlyFans, but that was mainly because
the case that
the thing was the reason why she actually got fired was because of the fact that she was filming her OnlyFans in the classrooms.
That one I've heard about. I've heard about that article.
I might be a different one, which means that this has happened more than once. Because I think what happened was the school board couldn't do anything because like sexual freedom and stuff. But one, she said that being a teacher doesn't pay enough, which oh god, that's true.
That's a fact.
That is an absolute fact. And
any government,
it's like this is the side of cyberpunk dystopia you don't think it's like. It's like how many teachers are gonna have an OnlyFans?
Any government work doesn't pay enough. I mean, look at the freaking medics. They don't get paid enough.
Yeah, I sure don't.
And my
but besides that,
and then one of my uncles who's in the police force, he doesn't get paid enough. His fucking car has to be held together with fucking duct tape.
God.
Anyways, but besides that, I think it was like they couldn't touch his teacher because like sexual freedom and stuff. And okay, that's fair, but at the same time, what that means is we could possibly find a trend in the future where like teachers are discovered by their students on OnlyFans.
Oh my god, that actually sounds kind of scary.
That would be very awkward.
That sounds like a very interesting Pandora's box, let me tell you.
It does. A middle school student finding their teacher's OnlyFans sounds very horrifying.
That's something else I was considering. It's like, you can try parental locks, but I have a feeling that's not going to do a whole lot.
Not in the modern age.
Nope.
Like, I feel like kids are going to be smart enough to, like, adapt.
I mean, for Christ's sake, I first learned about sex at the age of 9.
Yeah, so one thing that I was considering was, like, and I guess this is probably one of the reasons why there's a push for sex ed at a younger age. It's like, these kids are gonna learn this stuff very quickly, so we need to get to it first. But
I do agree with that.
But it brings up the concept of, like a hypersexual society, one wherein, because, like, I've heard that there are certain cultures where women are topless, like, all the time, and boobs aren't considered sexual organs in that culture. Like, they're not arousing. So it's like, if we ever end up in a society full of, like, public sex and shit, where, like, it's just absolute Sodom and Gomorrah, we just, like, normalize it.
That's now we're getting to an interesting topic. That's
yeah, and this is why I found it so interesting when I thought about this last night. It's like, oh shit.
I spoke about this a bit ago with Grim, actually, when I just suddenly blurted out, public sex should be legal.
I'm not no.
And I had to explain to her the way that a father would explain to a child why that is not a good idea and why it could be very dangerous.
Yes.
For a lot of drivers, especially, and that is why red light districts exist.
Though, to be fair, Frozen did put up a good point. Don't just have it in like willy-nilly wherever. Have designated public sex spots.
Yeah, red light districts.
No,
they have those in Europe.
I mean like a fucking sex park.
Sex park? Wait, a park dedicated to just sex?
Yes.
Okay, so a park in a red light district.
Yeah. I would love to just be able to go out somewhere and fuck behind a tree.
Hold on. Are you saying that you would want a public sex park, but not in a red light district? You would be fine if it was in, like, a fucking school zone.
Not near a school zone. What the hell are you thinking?
Exactly.
Mate?
You gotta have a whole district for this shit. You need a red light district, and you can put the park in the district.
That sounds fine.
Yeah, I don't get what she's getting bent out of shape about.
Like, I don't see the human body as inherently sexual. That's my thing. That's why I'm a practicing nudist.
Oh yeah, she doesn't wear clothes, and she's more than likely not wearing clothes right now.
True.
True. I'm wearing clothes.
True. I am actually not wearing any clothes, and it's the start of winter.
Oh. That sounds like a spelling disaster at that point.
She will eventually have to confront the fact that, yeah, you're gonna have to wear the clothes here, even, like, during the winter. Especially during the winter.
Yeah. In Canada,
I've had that. I fried bacon at I cook naked too, so it's like it's a lot more fun.
I can't do that. I feel I was just gonna say, I feel naked
sounds like the worst idea. Then again, she does like wax play.
Oh, God. Oh, well, that kind of explains it.
My skin is, like, very tactile, so whatever you do to it, I will feel.
Which is why I'm wondering why the hell you enjoy, like, frying bacon topless. That sounds like a very bad idea.
Because bacon is good, and I can't be bothered to put clothes on.
And whatever. Okay.
And also, why bother wearing clothes while cooking? Because all that's going to do is make your clothes dirty.
Okay, so
I mean, if you're reckless on the weekend. Yeah. I mean, if you're reckless while cooking, then sure, you'll get some oil on you, but
I mean, I did do an oopsie the other day. I wasn't paying attention, and I put a hot baking tray on my tit by accident.
Ouch.
Yeah.
All right, Ego. Since we've gone this far, we might as well go further. What's your fetishes?
Oh, you see, that's a book that has completely sealed up with chains and leather straps and.
Oh, someone likes
chains,
leather.
leather straps.
Well, not in. I mean.
Oh, you're so
Okay, okay,
adorable.
Oh, I tried.
Rocky's like, I wish they asked me about my fetishes in my interview.
The best I'll give you is I'll give you the whole straps and leather stuff. I'll give you
Well,
that,
all we
but I
asked
won't
about was
indulge
Japan.
anymore.
At least not publicly. We are definitely going to learn them.
Not publicly.
Yeah, Grim here is definitely the more forward one out of the two of us.
I have learned this.
Coom.
No, Kum is bad.
Just give him the bonk.
I will if I had my bunk with me.
I gave you the bonk with my meat stick.
I
Give it straight up cock slack with a horse dick.
That's called a
I will
turkey
take a-
slap. That's called a
will
turkey
take a
slap.
Slim Jim.
You might, in order to avoid like getting all flustered, you might want to stand on Grim's head for this one, Ego.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll jump on his head if I have to. I don't know if this is right.
Almost, just to the right, a little bit,
Too much.
little bit more,
A bit more.
left a bit,
What a wonderful view.
left a little bit,
Hey, don't you stare up too much.
left a little bit.
A little bit
There
more.
we
Yay, perfect.
go. There we
Now I'm
go.
up here.
I gotta admit, that's adorable, just seeing tiny Spooder on top of my husband's head.
There we go.
But yeah, if they don't want it, don't look up. It's not a free panty show.
Yeah, you gotta pay for that.
Oh,
Bro, imagine paying for porn.
mate.
Really cringe.
And I know you have a fansly, but still, I will never pay for porn.
It's like, well,
See, let
everyone
them pay for it.
well, everyone else pays to see my nudes. At least you don't have to, Grim. Partner privileges. Let's see what we got here. And of course my computer decides it's going to just... Ugh. But so far I'm having a lot of fun chatting with you, Ego.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun having a little interesting set of talks here. But yeah.
Just one moment we go from talking about VTubing, the next thing, sex.
It always comes down to it. I can't.
Everything in life is about sex, except for sex. Sex is about power.
I mean,
That quote's actually pretty on the dot.
It's something I also began to realize more as I played Ultra Kill.
Ultra kill.
Oh, if you've never heard of it, let me tell
Oh
you.
no.
That is a fun game, and it is also the reason why my wrist has been hurting for the last week.
For what reason is your wrist hurting?
Rocky's going on about like how in his interview all we really spoke about was Japan, and like
To be fair, Rocky, you made it clear that you were very say-so, so we tried to avoid sex when talking to you. So, in case you're wondering why we didn't discuss your fetishes.
Well, now we got to make sure that we say so around Ego here, since he did say a few times that he's meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says that, but he doesn't seem very sincere about it. It seems like he's being very tongue-in-cheek about it.
Close doors,
but then he goes to hitting on my husband before the stream.
Listen, it's formalities.
Oh, you're so adorable.
I sure am.
But yeah, so Ultra Kill, for lack of a better word, is probably like it is a game wherein you are never given any way to upgrade that doesn't require you to practice. Is the best way I can describe it.
Oh, practice.
All right, in a game like, let's say Dark Souls, because that's
Oh!
the benchmark for
Relaria
games.
has redeemed a stretch, so here we go.
So Dark Souls, which is the benchmark for our games, like you can sit at a bonfire and you can upgrade your stats, right?
There we go.
Right?
Yeah.
I did say that my stretches are a bit dangerous.
Yeah, I heard.
Did you hear what I said though?
I caught the tail end of it.
So in a game like Dark Souls, you can sit at a bonfire and you can like upgrade your stats. You can make the points go higher, get more stamina, more health, more shit, you know?
Okay.
And a lot of games have that to some degree, where like you're getting powers or new like better weapons, or you're improving stats or getting passive abilities. But the idea is that you're more powerful than you were. Ultra Kill doesn't do that. Ultra Kill will give you new weapons, but those weapons are very situational, and no weapon is any better than any other. You don't get any extra health, like you don't get any upgrades to anything. So, but the game will continually get harder. And it's up to you to figure out the techniques. It's up to you to figure out how best to dispatch the enemies. So it becomes a game of self-actualization. It becomes the gaming equivalent of hitting the gym, I would say. Of just like self-improvement, the game.
That sounds actually interesting. So basically throughout the whole game, you just need to learn to handle the situations rather than, again, like you said, being given the stuff to handle the situation.
So the first boss that the game throws at you becomes a common enemy, and I've learned to dispatch it in like less than a second.
Oh, that's terrifying.
And I do so simply through muscle memory and like practicing the techniques. And another interesting thing about the game is the mechanics are very in-depth. The most notable weapon is like a revolver.
Alright, see you later, Rocky.
It's basically like the most iconic weapon in the game, because what it does is, it does 1 damage, and yes, like the weapon, the damage, decimals are that simplistic, where the gun does 1 damage, and enemies will have 1 point of health.
Oh,
but,
okay.
So it does 1 damage, but if you right-click, you toss a coin in the air, and if you shoot that coin, it automatically targets the weak point of the closest enemy in line of sight, and deals an extra point of damage. And you can toss up to 4 of them in the air. So you can have 4 coins in the air, so you're doing 5 damage total. Like, because they like ricochet off each other. If you time it just right, you can actually split the bullet in 2 and hit 2 enemies with the same coin.
That's
and
awesome.
then I learned that you can punch coins, which launches the coin into the enemy and deals a lot of damage. And if they survive, like it'll like fly above their head, so you can shoot it then, and that will split the coin. It'll split the bullet, so you can like toss the coin, punch it, then you toss another coin. It bounces off that coin, bounces off the first coin, hits 2 enemies. So you could have potentially killed 3 enemies with like 1 shot.
That sounds awesome, actually.
And there's so many interesting techniques. Like you can punch shotgun shells, and it like makes your shotgun turn into kind of like a sniper rifle that does an explosion when it hits.
Interesting.
And like, also there is a rocket launcher, and you can ride the rockets.
Oh, okay.
Also, what's very interesting about the rocket launcher is, where most games will have like the explosive weapon do like a blast damage on impact, this game decides no, it doesn't do any damage unless you hit the target. And it's a very slow-moving projectile as well. But you can launch enemies into the air, and if you hit them in the air with the rocket launcher, it deals an even bigger explosion.
This game sounds very in-depth.
It's very like the amount of techniques that you can learn are very interesting. That's what really got me into it, was all the different ways you can use certain weapons. Like There's one weapon where the alt fire launches magnets at the enemy, or like you can stick them on the ground to make magnet traps, but you can also stick them on enemies. And if you do so, then use the rocket launcher, the rockets gain like a homing effect because they're attracted to the magnet.
Okay.
But it's like a completely separate weapon, so it's like you're using two different weapons.
Hold on, I gotta check this game out. You said it's called Ultra Kill?
Yeah. Actually, there's one particular video that summarizes like the beauty of this game really well. I'll try to find it.
Oh, please do.
It's very short, but it's a technique which is functionally useless, but it demonstrates the power of the game. It demonstrates like the way in which the game, like just how amazing it is at what it does. Also, this game's got a great soundtrack and it's got lots of breakcore.
Oh, those are the best types of games.
It's got lots of breakcore.
There's also the fact that you can mod the game to shit.
Oh, wait, that has mods?
There are mods. In fact, a running joke in the community was the sex update, which would add butt plug support, and they actually did add that. It was added unofficially. It was added unofficially through modding. But the official butt plug support came in the form of like controller support. So you got a rumble controller. Anyways, I sent the video. Watch this. Watch this right now.
Let me see. Orbital nuke. Oh my god, the frame rates. Oh, that was very satisfying.
So that was a combination of three. Actually, no, that was a combination of 3 weapons and 1 melee attack.
Wait, I see what you mean. I had to go back and look at it a few times. What was that?
So
build up.
So the shotgun, the alt fire for it, launches like a grenade-like projectile, and you can shoot that projectile and it does more damage.
Okay.
And if you shoot a coin, the coin prioritizes that projectile before it does an enemy. So, now you'll see first, like he throws his fist in the air and there's an explosion. What that does is it launches a coin into orbit. Then he launches the grenade. Then he quickly switches back to the revolver, tosses another coin. Felicity,
Nani?
you okay there?
Yeah, just kind of following the music. They're playing the ending theme to Card Captor Sakura. So,
anyways, so what he does is he shoots the second coin with something called the malicious rail cannon, which is like an AoE blast weapon. So it hits the second coin, hits the first coin, which is way up in the atmosphere, hits the grenade right above the enemies, and it creates a massive explosion. It's the biggest AoE blast in the game.
That is insane. That was so well performed.
That's the thing about this game, and it's why I love it so much. Like, in a game like, let's say Devil May Cry, for example, because that's a game where you do, like, lots of flashy moves, right?
Uh-huh.
But, like, what you're really just doing is pressing a button, and, like, you're chaining combos and pressing these buttons, but you're not actually doing all these cool flips and tricks. This is a game that kind of forces you to do that. It forces you to be stylish, because being stylish is how you accommodate the difficulty. So it is not only a game that makes you feel like a badass, but you have to work towards that. And that I think is the ultimate male fantasy, to not just be a badass, but to earn it, not to have it given to you.
I do have to get behind that logic, yeah. I like it.
Yep, like I said, everything in life is about sex, except for sex, it's about power. And Ultra Kill is very much that. It's self-actualization of the game. And it's also the reason why I fucked up my arm.
Okay. See, now this is more justifiable about breaking your wrist. The power for this game is the sex.
So what I was doing is, because like I said, if you want to like also go through all the content in the game, you have to like really try hard, because there are these specific challenges that are hidden in like one of the last levels of the acts. And it's a door. They're called the P doors, and the reason why is because they have all these P's on them. And every time you get a perfect rank in a mission or in a level, it glows. It makes one of those P's glow up. So you have to P rank every level in order to open this door. And when you do, you are rewarded with the most ridiculous boss fights you'll ever encounter.
Really?
I think it took me like an hour to beat the first one, and the second one a little over an hour.
No kidding. I gotta look up these boss fights then.
No, you don't.
No,
Trust me.
I gotta experience them. Okay.
No, man. This is a game where you don't want spoilers, except for where to get the secrets, because this game also has lots of Easter eggs, and this game actually has a secret level, which is just straight up a dating sim.
Oh?
And they have another, which is just Crash Bandicoot.
Ooh,
and they have
okay.
And they have one which is absolutely torturous for Ultra Kill players, because they are confronted with the one thing that no Ultra Kill player enjoys, and that is puzzles. Because it's it's a witness homage.
Oh.
But yeah, actually it was a week ago today, I decided to... Actually, by this time, I probably would have just finished streaming it. Where I'm like, okay, I only have 4 more missions or 4 more levels I need to P rank, and then I can do P2. 6 hours later!
Oh god.
I had to, like, cook and eat dinner on stream.
You're... What?
Oh, it was so painful. Oh. And I finally got through it. And when I did, and the adrenaline finally wore off... Oh! God, it hurts! And I've been trying to take it easy ever since, but... According to Felicia, I might be developing tendinitis.
Oh, that's not good.
I mean, the same sort of thing happened to my smut artist, and I told him, just have hot baths for 20 minutes a day. It really does help. Have some bath salts added in there for added muscle relaxation. My god, does it help.
Oh, my skin just boils whenever I do.
I mean, I'm a woman, so my baths are usually hot enough to turn me into soup.
Ultra Kill. That's the gameplay of Ultra Kill, and then there's the story, which... The story is not actually that, like, it's not shoved in your face, let's put it that way.
Okay.
For example, like, this game, it's basically inspired by, like, first-generation Polygon, like, boomer shooters, Quake and stuff.
Oh, okay.
In fact, the website to get it from is called Devil May Quake, for some reason.
Interesting.
But, so it all looks like really shitty low poly. The game actually has a reason in lore for this, and the reason is because, well, you're playing as a robot, and basically your model was not designed to have like high-powered, high-definition optics. So what you're seeing is probably more realistic, but the reason everything is so like polygonal is because you have shitty vision, which I think is a really cool way to like do it. But
it is.
But the game's story is deceptively intelligent. It's like, by the way, the game isn't officially over yet. We still have at least one more act to go, and that's currently in development. But
so game's not even done yet. Ooh.
Yeah, but so far the game seems to be one that's exploring like existentialism and nihilism as like philosophical concepts.
That seems pretty in depth from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, because the premise of the game, like, it tells you this right as you start playing. Humanity is dead, blood is fuel, hell is full. Because the whole game takes place in hell.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm on the Steam page of it now. It looks interesting.
I highly recommend it.
I might put that on my wish list then. Hello.
Highly recommend it. But
yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Except I don't know when the next time I'm going to be playing it for is, because I've technically beaten everything there is to beat in it. except for a few challenges. But and again, my arm. I'm probably gonna spend next week streaming like very low intensity games. And if I don't fix my hand, I might have to see a doctor about this.
Messing up your hand through ultra kill. That's what I'm here for.
What didn't help was the day before I streamed that, I also had my anniversary stream where I did an endurance stream of a game which is basically a first-person version of Getting Over It.
And don't forget
and I
not
did
too
that
long
for
before,
about 6 hours.
Not too long before that, we
hurt.
had our first year anniversary.
Yes, we did.
Congratulations.
But yeah,
to think that we're still going strong after so long.
That's actually commendable.
So, what else is there to talk about? Do you have any questions for us?
Not off the top of my head, except one.
Okay.
Why do you two gotta be so cute together?
I'm not cute at all. What are you talking about?
Yes, you are.
I said together. The two of you make a cutie.
And that is because we are both high-functioning autists.
So, Relaria asks about how often do I do my Hayami Estate episodes. Essentially, you just have to wait until I give you an invite. And that's when I will contact you about
people can ask, right?
Yeah, people
can ask to be on.
People can ask if they
nobody approaches you.
For some reason, nobody wants to approach me.
Because you're intimidating because you're so big and popular and everyone loves you.
True.
These sorts of like Hayami Estate is where I do like I invite a guest over and just have a chat with them on stream. So I always post a schedule for when my next Hayami Estate episode comes out. So all you have to do is just keep an eye out on my Twitter or Discord for the schedule. It's always nice when I do my Hayami Estate episodes because it's like, oh, maybe I'm going to make a new friend. And I can certainly say for sure, I'm not afraid of this spider.
Yes. The most adorable one.
I saw another jumping spider VTuber, but their model is literally like it's a rubber hose animated one. It looks like
rubber hose.
Rubber hose.
Yeah, you know, like the Cuphead aesthetic.
Spaghetti arms and everything.
Yeah, that's called the rubber. It's called the Rubber Hose School of Animation, and it was like classic, like Disney Warner Brothers, like from ye olden time.
Essentially,
it was okay to be racist.
Oh boy.
I think I get the idea.
Okay, let me just say that there's a bunch of Bugs Bunny episodes that they don't show anymore for good reasons.
Oh no, I'm aware. Even Go to Popeye is one of those. Oh yeah.
But yeah, that whole school of animation is called Rubber Hose because all the limbs are like rubber hoses, basically.
Like floppy. Okay.
Another like rubber hose VTuber that I keep an eye on because she's, even though I haven't watched any of her streams yet, I do plan to at some point. Her name is I think Biddles the Clown. And she goes all out with the rubber hose animation, even going with the black and white aesthetic and everything.
Oh, that sounds cool.
So, yeah, a little bit of unwarranted promotion there, Biddles.
Yeah, you gotta spread the love no matter who it is.
Well,
she is a very loving person.
Well,
That's good.
Well, I have that train of thought. Go give our dear little Spooder here a follow on both his Twitter and his Twitch, because he certainly deserves it. Thank you very much for being here and having a chat with your dear stream mum.
Oh, are we done?
Having me.
Not quite yet. It's up to you guys.
I mean, how long do you have?
I mean, it's been about an hour and 15 minutes. So, no, not
I
15,
can go for the full.
an hour and 50 minutes. So 50.
All right, so there is actually one question I forgot to ask.
Yeah.
Favorite game?
Ooh, favorite game. Ooh, okay. Now, out of all the ones, this is I think the hardest one. I probably have to say. Oh man, you stumped me on this one. There's just so many good ones.
I mean, you can do a top 5 or something.
True. Oh, okay. I'll go as far as doing a top. Okay, fine. I'll do top 5. I think that's for the best. Number 1, hands down, has to be the Sniper Elite series. I just love all the Sniper Elites. Most important one that I love the most is gotta be the one where you're in Africa. I forgot that was the third one. But I love Sniper Elite. Second, the Metro series. Metro is great.
Yes.
Definitely
Have you read
Last
any
Light.
of the books? Have you
I
read any
have
of the books?
not, but I've been wanting to.
So as I understand, like, only the first game follows the book to any degree. Like, Last Light is just its own thing, and like it's a completely separate universe. Because Metro 2034 definitely follows a completely different story, like totally different characters.
Thank you
Actually,
very
Artyom
Thank you very
does,
much for that chaos. Just fucking yeet.
Artyom does make like a cameo appearance in the second book, but he's not the main character at all.
Oh, okay. That's kind of unfortunate. I love my boy.
Please don't
Yeah,
eat this.
but-
Please don't eat this Spooder. He's too adorable.
Don't
But
eat me, I
it's
don't know.
definitely a good book, I would say, and like it definitely, you can tell the games definitely capture some of the aesthetic well, especially when you play them on the harder difficulty, because like very rarely does Artyom ever go to the surface. Like, he only goes once, and it's like the scariest thing. It's like he has to wear this like in lore, it's like his eyes can't handle the sunlight. No one's can anymore. So he has to wear like some sort of tinted face shield. And it's when he encounters the librarians, by the way.
Oh god, I hated those things.
Oh yeah. And basically the book made the game the book made like the surface world very unwelcoming feeling, and to an extent the game does that, especially when you play on harder difficulties, because like you can only be on the surface for so long before you have to like you run out of filters and stuff, and like
100%.
you just, so it's like the very air itself doesn't want you there. Like, that's how hostile the world feels. It's like it hates you.
That just makes me want to read the book some more, because I just started playing through it again, and god, it was such a good feeling.
I read the audiobooks because when you're grinding Warframe in high school and getting almost 4,000 hours, you get really bored playing it, but you want to keep grinding. So I read through the audiobook at least twice.
You can tell,
and
like, my favorite game of all time is Bullet Witch. It's actually it's the game that inspired my outfit, actually.
you're cosplaying as the main character, actually, but yeah.
Oh.
But anyways, yeah, like, if I were to describe the story itself of Metro, Artyom, who basically never saw life outside of his station of Vidienka, he suddenly goes on this journey throughout all the different stations and see the cultural differences. Like he meets like these like weird primitive societies that worship like a giant worm. He finds a station where everyone is slightly mutated because they couldn't actually close the blast doors, so radiation is leaking in.
God.
And there were other things like it too. Where like he goes to these different stations, he's meet these different people, he sees different perspectives on life. He also meets Khan. And
Ooh, okay.
I don't think the game actually goes into detail about who Khan is, because according to Khan himself, he is the incarnated soul of Genghis Khan, among many other individuals, and says that this is his last incarnation because because not only has the war ended the world, but has also destroyed heaven, hell, and purgatory, in his words. And this is also why. By the way, this is also one of the explanations for the game's all the weird anomalies and stuff, and like the shadow people. These are the souls of the dead. They have nowhere to go because there's no afterlife anymore, so they all get trapped in the metro. Also, well, I don't want to spoil it too much. There is one more thing I want to talk about, and it was the way they made darkness feel legitimately terrifying. Where they talked about where very rarely do people leave stations, and when they do, they usually use a push cart, and if they don't go in groups in particular, you're on your own, walking through kilometers of pitch black tunnels. And like your flashlight can only go so far before it stops being effective. So you just shine it forward and you just see a big gaping maw of blackness. Like it will extend like a dozen meters or so, but after that there's nothing.
But pardon me, I only got three hours of sleep.
Yeah, and as you walk along the rails in total silence for hours, not knowing when you're going to reach the station because there's no indication of how far you've gone, you might start to like go a little crazy. You might start to think that you haven't moved at all. And you might also think you're hearing voices echoing, or like not voices, but like footsteps echoing in the distance, but you don't know if they're yours or if it's someone else's. So you shine your flashlight back, and then you shine your flashlight forward. And then you become very scared because you can only look at one direction at once. And like people that do that are traumatized and they never go back into the tunnels again when they do eventually get found or run as fast as they can. And there are a few trippy dream sequences like that for Artyom.
Some of them, dude, I'm loving this this narrative of it.
Yeah, like it's very trippy, but it has almost no violence. It's like the video games are way more violent. Artyom probably kills like one human.
Really? That's the polar opposite of the game. The game, he kills an entire like civilization of people.
Yeah. But like, and the way the game, so the game and the book kind of end the same way, where unless you get like all the good ending conditions, you kill the dark ones. But the thing is, also that's another thing. Every time Artyom sleeps, he gets nightmares of the dark ones, and it can get really trippy. But the way it ends is he's back at his home station, and he realizes how much he's changed in a very short period of time, how much he's experienced, and how unsure he left the station being unsure of what the outside world is. He left the station and he starts to learn things about the world, and he thinks he understands it, but he keeps getting contradictory views of like the same thing over and over again. And in the end, he's wiser, but he still doesn't know anything. And I guess that's his hero's journey.
I kind of like that, because in the game we don't really explore Artyom that much, like at all. So from the book, I'm enticed to read it now more so than before.
Please do. There's probably a free audiobook reading on YouTube somewhere.
Oh, on YouTube? No kidding. I'm about to check that out soon.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ego, for being a part of this. I am getting very tired, unfortunately.
All right.
I could go for longer, but you know.
I mean, honestly, this is more like I'm becoming the host at this point. All right, you go get some sleep.
All right. So we are going to raid out to my good friend Kai, who is playing Elden Ring, actually. So, remember to give this raid message when you pop in. Arigatou gozaimashita, minna, Goshujin-sama, and everyone in between. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves here at my estate, and until next time, abayo ne!